Coming your way on the 49ers Report, a news and rumors mailbag where I take questions from all of our loyal subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to the 49ers Report on YouTube, do so right now. But also a reminder, after every single one of our live shows, we go live on Callin. It's a live interactive podcasting app that's very much like Twitter Spaces, but even better, where you can call into the show. We want as many subscribers as possible because we'll be going live after the preseason game on Friday, as well as after every single game throughout the regular season. And I want to see those rooms popping off. Chatsports.com/49ers call-in. Download the app on your iPhone and your Android devices today, and make sure you make a profile. We begin this mailbag with this $5 super chat coming in from Draco. Trey is heme. Say it like that, Chase. Trey is heme. Let him play in the first half, get his feet wet again, then put Brock Purdy in. I agree that Trey Lance should get extended action in the preseason opener against Green Bay. I don't know if he's going to play the entire first half. I think that's a little bit too much. Now, in the third preseason game, because there are 17 days of rest between that final preseason game and the season opener, maybe you play Trey Lance an entire quarter, maybe a quarter and a half, but you want to try to avoid injury at all costs. For this preseason game on Friday, though, I want to see Trey Lance get at least 3 series. I think that allows him, like you said, to get his feet wet. Then after that, you can play Nate Sudfeld, you can play Brock Purdy. Trey needs that experience. Next up, it's Nick Craig with the $2 super chat. What is your expectation for Trey Lance this season? I think he's in a really good position because I don't think there's a ton of pressure on him to carry the load offensively like some other rookie quarterbacks have had to do in years previous, because this roster is built to compete for a Super Bowl, and this roster is loaded from the defensive side of the football to the offensive side of the football. There are so many premier players on this roster, and they love to run the football too. So all of that takes pressure off of Trey Lance. No, I do have lofty expectations for him in his first full season as a starter. If he goes out and throws 25 to 30 touchdowns and he runs for 400, 500 yards and another 8 touchdowns, that's a pretty good year for Trey Lance. And I don't expect him to have that MVP caliber season that Patrick Mahomes had back in 2018 in his first full season as a starter, or play like Joe Burrow did in his second year. But I do expect Trey to impress a lot of people. There are going to be mistakes, but he has the ability and the special ability to make up for those mistakes with some just stupid raw talent. Another donation coming in from Ellis10, Chase Sr. What's your win-loss prediction for 2022? I've said this for a long time. I'm going to continue to say it, and I don't really see it changing. I think the Niners are going to win 10 games. That's my prediction for this year. If they win more, that's great. I hope it doesn't come down to Week 18 like it did last year, do or die, when you're down 17-0 against the Los Angeles Rams and you're in a do or die situation in which you have to come back, climb yourself out of a hole, and cause all of us to have a near heart attack. But I do expect the Niners to be a little bit more consistent this year and not have to rebound from a 3-5 start. That's a big key also for the Niners this year. Get off to a better start so that you don't have to play catch-up with a young quarterback. So 10 wins, I'll cap it at 11, Ellis10. Appreciate that question, all of your support of the Niners Report over time. Just because the 49ers own the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, as Rodgers over in the playoffs against the Niners, type FGB in the comment section right now. Another super chat rolling in from Adriana Saavedra. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It was just a super chat sticker. Massaging? No, we're not talking about Deshaun Watson. $5 super chat from Letterhead Movement. Did you miss me? I did, Letterhead. Letterhead is back. Where is IFR Dries for Denmark? I'm looking for you too. With the season coming up, I expect to hear from so many people. But Letterhead Movement with the 5 bones. Did you miss me? Yes, I did. Was down and out for a month. Are you okay, Letterhead? I hope you're all good. If you're talking down and out because of health issues, I hope you bounce back. If you're talking down and out as it's been the offseason, I unplugged, that's all good. Love to hear the Niner talk. Chase, you're an Iron Man. Can't wait for the season opener. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if I'm going to run an Ironman race to technically be classified as an Ironman, but I've been putting in that work. Near Ironman, running nearly 80 days straight up to this point, 100 push-ups a day, so I'm trying to live up to those lofty expectations from Letterhead Movement. Chua Lore is back with the new profile picture. What up, Chua? Should the Niners sign a backup for Trey Lance if Jimmy is gone by a trade? If Nate Sudfeld struggles, who should the Niners sign? It is slim pickings on the list of available quarterbacks. We're talking Cam Newton, we're talking Ryan Fitzpatrick, and maybe there will be a surprise release when rosters get cut down of another fringe type of quarterback. But really, if you don't have Trey Lance and if he gets injured and you get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, this team kind of screwed with Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy. I do believe that Kyle Shanahan is as good of a coach as anybody out there in terms of putting together a game plan for a quarterback to succeed. He did it with C.J. Beathard. He did it with Nick Mullins. The problem is once defensive coordinators start to hone in on what some of those quarterbacks do well and what they do poorly, they adjust, and those backups are a backup for a reason. Jamie Bryant, do you think that Ross Dwelley makes the team? Samuel Womack also. Womack is the number 2 slot corner and nickel corner on this roster behind Darqueze Dennard. So I do expect Womack to make the roster. He was also a draft pick who did some really good things at Toledo. For Ross Dwelley, interesting stuff going on at the tight end spot. On the first depth chart that the Niners released, George Kittle, number 1 tight end, Tyler Kroft, number 2, Ross Dwelley, 3. You're like, okay, where's Charlie Warner? He's been rehabbing from a core muscle injury. So I'm not sure if he's going to open up the season on PUP. If that happens, Dwelley will make the team. So too will Tyler Kroft. But nice little competition going on in training camp between Dwelley and Tyler Kroft now that Jordan Matthews suffered that torn ACL. After every single one of our live shows, we go live on Callin. It's an interactive podcasting app where you have the chance to call into the show. It's like Sports Talk Radio and Twitter Spaces had a baby, and that's what Callin is. Download the app, join the conversation. You can download it on your iPhone and your Android device by heading to chatsports.com/49ers Callin. Those download links available right now in the comment section and the description of this video. Next up, it's Krusty Niner. What are you looking forward to in the Niners preseason game? Looking forward to Trey Lance, looking forward to seeing what the running back rotation is going to be. I'm looking forward to Javon Kinlaw getting some game snaps, Drake Jackson coming off the edge. I want to see what Samuel Womack can bring to the table, as well as Tariq Castro-Fields and all of the other rookies. Most notably, though, it's Trey Lance. How much he plays and how he performs. That's the biggest storyline going into Friday night. Mando, he's been all over the comment section on our live show today. Should Brock Purdy be our quarterback 2 instead of Nate Sudfeld? No, Brock Purdy does not have a good arm. It's a little bit of a noodle arm. When he has to get those balls outside the hash to the perimeter, he really struggles, and that's where pick sixes come into play and can really flip games. If Brock Purdy is getting any significant snaps this year in 2022, it's a big problem for the Niners. Now, Nate Sudfeld, he's somewhat unproven as a starter too, but quarterback evaluators really like him, and he's had a solid camp, really up and down. He's a backup for a reason. There's no question about that because he does lack consistency, but Brock Purdy should be quarterback 3. And I think once it comes to 53-man roster cutdown day, I envision the Niners keeping 2 quarterbacks on the roster, Trey Lance, Nate Sudfeld, and then Brock Purdy on the practice squad. What are you most excited about against the Green Bay Packers? Is it going to be Brock Purdy and the fact that he's going to be getting and seeing extended action? Let me know right now in the comment section. A lot to be excited about against Green Bay in this preseason opener. Julian Ross, certainly a real one. Chase, you demand. Thank you, bro. Who do you feel is going to be Trey's security blanket as in a wide receiver? A couple of guys. Deebo Samuel can be the ultimate security blanket because he can catch the ball and he can run it. Brandon Ayuk can be that deep threat to take the top off of the defense. George Kittle is kind of that prototypical security blanket as that tight end. Jawan Jennings is also that possession type of wide receiver. So all of them bring something different to the table. That's what I'm looking at. Henry Como, last question in this mailbag, $2 super chat. Everyone will be watching that offensive line too. Yeah, no doubt, Henry. That's a really good point. This offensive line, a little bit lackluster and a monster question mark. You look at the depth chart right now, it's Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, Mike McGlinchey as the first-team starters. And outside of Trent Williams, big question marks. McGlinchey coming off the injury, Burford the rookie, Jake Brendel has never been a long-term starting center, and Aaron Banks played one game last year. So there is certainly some questions for this offensive line, especially considering that Trey Lance needs the protection in front of him. Real one, roll call. We're doing that before we hop on out of here for this mailbag. If you made it this far and you're subscribed to the channel, I want you to comment real one. And don't forget to get some real one shirts, which are available on the channel right now. real ones. We appreciate you.